A fire broke out at one of Russia's largest oil refineries in the Yaroslavl region north of Moscow on Wednesday morning in what authorities described as a man-made incident unrelated to Ukrainian drone strikes. Residents were concerned that this could be the result of an enemy drone attack, but what happened has nothing to do with it. Yaroslavl region governor Mikhail Yevraev wrote on Telegram. Local media published eyewitness videos showing a thick plume of black smoke against the skies around the area of the Slavnefteyanos refinery in the city of Yaroslavl. Yaroslavl is located over 150 miles northeast of Moscow and 430 miles from the border with Ukraine. Yevraev said no drone strikes were recorded over his region on Wednesday. Slavneft said firefighters extinguished the blaze after 4 hours and the refinery had resumed its operations. Slavneft, which is owned jointly by Rosneft and Gazprom Neft, describes itself as one of Russia's 10 largest crude oil producers. Reuters estimates that the refinery's annual capacity at 15 million metric tons or 300,000 barrels a day. It was last attacked by Ukrainian drones in late January 2024. Ukraine has intensified drone strikes on Russian oil refineries since early August, triggering nationwide fuel shortages. And so now the number is supposedly they've cut off 40% of capacity, which in the last, it was much lower at the beginning of August. So over the past 2 months, capacity has fallen by 40%. You can see on my Twitter, there's people that are retweeting or posting things where the fuel shortages are. There's videos of long lines for petrol specifically, but I'm sure it's much worse in other areas. And I don't know how much of this is the drone strikes. Like this incident here was not a drone strike. There was another incident where it was flooding actually that caused the problem. So like a natural disaster style thing. And then added to that, and I know a lot of people are working on these topics, but it's just interesting to me. You know, we've sanctioned Russia by so much that a lot of the parts that they need to keep these refineries going, they can't get because they're from Western sources. So, and obviously we forced Exxon out and we forced Shell out. Those are the big players that were partnering with Rosneft and Slavneft and Gazprom Neft specifically. So there's no way for them to repair these. So it's unclear to me how much of this is actual drone strikes and how much of it is just stuff's wearing out and there's nothing to replace it with. And at some point that means that the they're going to have to be capped and there's going to be no more oil and gas from Russia, which was always the plan. If anybody had been reading about this for years, there was a lot of, and I was one of those people who was very much talking about how the reliance on oil and gas, European reliance on Russian oil and gas was a problem. And apparently it's going to be more of a problem. Now, a lot of things have changed in the last decade. The U.S. is exporting more liquefied natural gas to Europe. But obviously there's more going on there. And I want to do more on the situation in Germany specifically. And I am going to stop there.